Actually, just read it now.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I welcome again to the March edition's National CDS, and we have an amazing topic for you guys today. I can't wait to have you all join us and engage with us today. Please rep your states as you join in the chat box and tell a friend to tell a friend to join the meeting. Thank you.
I'll let you know.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again to the March edition's National CDS webinar. Thank you for joining us today. And we have amazing topic, really amazing topic and engaging for you guys today. So please rep your states as you join in the chat box. Tell a friend to tell a friend to join. Share the link to your friends and everyone around you, please. So recent research has shown us that despite the growth in digital literacy and how it has, democratized opportunities, the participation of our growth, of our youth in civic and nation building using technology is still very low. Hence why we have today's topic that states Ijoba, Civic Tech, and civic participation. So this session is designed to help us understand how technology can empower citizens to participate actively in governance, improve transparency, and drive social impact in our communities. So as we proceed, we have the national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. No tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigeria, small and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be our symbol, that truth and justice reign. In peace, all battle honor, and peace we come as gain. To hand unto our children, our banner we have seen. Oh God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed. And so with peace and plenty, Nigeria shall be blessed.
Yes, thank you. We'll now move to the main highlight of today's webinar. Woo! So I'm going to be introducing our distinguished speakers for this session. We have Mr. Tayo Oloshunde, who is the founder and global head of mission of Mind the Gap. And we have Mr. Ola Stephen, engineering manager and technology strategist. So without further ado, Mr. Ola, you can have the floor. Thank you.
Okay, so good morning, everyone, and how are you doing? I'm so excited to join you today. And just as he said, my name is uh, officially is Dr. Ola Stephen Ono, but most times most people know me as Mr. Ola. So that is now one of my the pink name that a lot of people normally call me. So just as he said, the quick on my own background, I'm engineering manager, I'm a technologist, and also a social scientist because I just completed a PhD program in society and development studies with specialties and focus on the industrial development. And I think I did my thesis in the area of cottage industries. Make this presentation on civic technology. What is it about? How do it come down to you as core members? So we will just quickly start by wanting to look at previous works that have been done in the area of civic technology. Has then been apps that promote civic technology? Has then been platforms that promote civic technology? What does civic technology actually mean? And I want to inform you that yeah, the person that brings us all together, Mr. Tayo Lusande, did a research, an academic research that brought together about 500 young people in Abuja, and he tries to understand what enables civic technology, what holds them back, why we do not have this plan, and we had some fantastic outcome and some insights that I also want to share during the course of this presentation. So, civic technology is not about an app, it's more about what builds the nations, and it mustn't be about the most educated people in Nigeria. It's more about connecting generations of new Nigeria. So, in simple terms, we'll begin to define the term what is civic technology. So, civic technology are digital tools that are designed to engage citizens with what the government is doing in order to improve public services and accountability, problem solving in communities, and also to strengthen participation and also build social skills, especially among young people, and also improve the sense of national identity. Because most times when you're seen with green, white, green, everybody know you're talking about Nigeria. And we can see countries like the United States where they're so passionate about their country that they fly their flag, and anything that happens to an American, you see everybody rushing. So an American person, we have even identity to an extent where we have every nation on the world wants you. And you hear terms like a Nigerian American, a Chinese American. It's because they actually hold their identity very strongly. So the question is, what is civic technology? It is not about another app, or it's not about another gaming platform or social network, but it's more like technology designed with citizens in mind. So let's take, for example, we have the technologies like budget it I which enables people to understand and track the way government is spending money. We also have apps like Fix My Streets, which is letting citizens to report potholes, broken street light, and it has been doing very well. Then we have another one like Ushahidi, which started in Kenya, that enables people to map post-election violence based on map and report crises, and people are able to react to it. And we also have a fantastic one also coming from our host, which is Ijoba, which we will learn about today. We will be seeing that subsequently during our presentations go on. So we'll ask a simple question: how can we use a digital tool in the age to build better communities, stronger democracies, and be a more united nation. So that is what is obtainable in the 21st century, where people take advantage of digital technology to actually promote from religion to ideologies. But one of the most important part of technology. So we want to ask, why nation building is needed using civic technology. So, like an example, in Nigeria, we have over 250 ethnic groups with over 500 languages, diverse religion, and we also have historical regional tensions. We have a youth population now which is climbing about 70% of under 30 of people who are under 30, and we also have digital penetration, which is about 70% internet access across the country. So we want to ask the question, what opportunity does this provide? So it gives us the opportunity to connect across our differences and come together as well. So now why do Nigeria need civic tech? So look at who we are. We have very large ethnic group with the number of languages that we have, and we see that 90 70% of about 70% of Nigerians are under the age of 30. So it gives us a perspective that we have these are first generations of Nigeria in Nigeria's history who has the ability to really talk to each other, who can influence each other across digital divide, who can virtually host a community of people across the nation with with the minimal cost as call as just making a phone call, which is we bring an undented era where we can actually connect with each someone in Maiduguri, connecting with someone in Port Harcourt, connecting in Sokoto, and connecting in Enugu. And I also want to ask the question: how have you, on your own, improved your identity as a Nigerian using civic technology? How have you participated in nation building using civic technology? I want to give a quick example from my own experience. Back in 2019, I did a simple 3D model of the Abuja City Gate, and I put it out there for it's a free model, and I think I built that model under 20 minutes. So when I put it out there, after a year, I said, let me check on Google about 3D technology, and I discovered that it was the first image that when you search Abuja 3D, when you see the city gate, there's a 3D a model of a picture, and it was like the most common model the most common image search when you type 3D. And as I'm moving around the town, I'm seeing people who are building, creating banners, creating book covers, and even building websites using this image. So it's like, oh, so I can do something that can actually promote Nigeria, it can promote Abuja. And I had so many other maps like that, and they were coming up as index, and I'm very, very proud of it. And it was one thing that thing has done to me is that it has improved my marketability in the area of TV technology and graphics, because I just give you that research, I search this keyword and see the work I have done. So that will bring us the highlight of the research I was telling about from Mr. Tayo, which it adopted the theory of social investment. And what does this theory tells us about? That when you invest using civic technology, it's a form of it's also equal to other investment, just like buying cars and wanting them to appreciate. Because if you have things that promote your nation, tomorrow that thing can be used as a reference to you. So ordinarily, a place where you might pitch a project, maybe a national project, and you make a reference to that, definitely you'll be priced differently because they see you as somebody who is contributing to the nation. So from the research findings, we had things like operational skills, that we had a high percentage of people who can use skills, who can communicate using the technology. A good percentage of above average understand the safety skills, and also it was reported that the creative skills also was on the rise, but information and critical skills where people struggle to understand the what is happening in different parts of the in different ministries, in different organizations was very much on the low. And that is why this webinar section is very important to understand that there are a lot of opportunities that we can get from digital technology using that to power civic technology. So what makes this civic technology work? It's that we have we the creative skills that we develop these days, like using the AI technology, for you to create a beautiful image that promotes Nigeria and say, okay, I want to write a post about, I want to create an image about Nigeria, people holding flag, people holding their hands together. You don't need those advanced graphic skills to come up with something like that. With a simple AI prompt on image creation tools like that, which we have in ChatGPT, you can use that to create something and also create an awareness. And you can use that to promote civic education using these technologies that are made available to us now. So from the research findings, from the review I did on the work, there were a lot of constraints that people fear because like high cost of data. Some people complain, a high number of people, close to 70% complain of misinformation, and also harassment was around 65%. Also, political fear, that close to half of the people are afraid that they might put something out there and it might want to trample on somebody's image. And I also want to put it to us that when we talk about civic education, it is not all about criticizing Nigeria or trying to tell people Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. No, it is about putting anything out there that promotes national development. That anything you are putting out there, it should be for the good of the citizen. It is not just necessarily going to criticize. And we normally have cases where you see somebody who comes here and is criticizing the government more. You give him an opportunity and he turns back and he's saying directly opposite of what he has said previously. So it happens in government where if you focus instead of just outrightly criticizing people, it is more like suggesting to them. Definitely it will impact even our leaders. If there's some posts you make, for example, you have an idea of a better education system and images and videos and putting it out there. As it continues to circulate, somebody who is a leader who might not really know how to go about some of these about projects can draw inspirations from that, and you can reference tomorrow for what you put out there that makes Nigeria a better place. So that is why we require civic education. So we'll give it a quick case study. You can see what happened during the NSAS, where T was actually questioned. And using the hashtag NSAS, it went a long way to actually prompt the government to make reforms around policing and also ended harassment that a lot of young Nigerians faced. Like you're going out with the laptop. I remember a case where somebody was leaving my office. I had to look for a sack bag for him to put his laptop and put some clothes on top of the laptop so that he doesn't go with some police officers and they will not start harassing him. Sometimes they will even brutalize you before they even know whether you are a software engineer or you are going to even just learn computer appreciation. And it was something that was tarnishing the image of our country. But with that advocacy, though we didn't support some of the paths that led to violence, that is not what civic technology is. It is not promoting anything that will lead to violence. We're trying to put your voice out there as an accelerator for governments to actually perform well. So, come to nation building. How do civic technology ensure nation building? Like citizen reporting, data transparency, creating community and platform and also creating issue-based organization to share problem that transcend across the different division, and also a collective action tool that citizens can experience and also improve their. So civic technology, it's a very powerful tool. It's a very powerful initiative. You can call it tool, you can call it platform in this particular date and era. So if we put it to us to ask question, when was the last you posted something that is positive around Nigeria? That is civic technology. How many persons can know you by your states, by what you put out there to say, I am from, for example, I'm a proud citizen of Nigeria. I hail from Benue. This is the products we have. Almost nobody, very few Nigerians do that. And that has caused a high level of knowledge about our democracy, knowledge about the government, knowledge about what the government has. If you check on different platforms that that the MDs create, the ministries, the departments, and agencies create, they have the lowest engagements. This population don't have jobs there, and they are not having jobs. They are not having opportunity. There are some MDs that are looking for you to come in there to see how you can put out your skills there. But because you are not even promoting the nation in the first place, how do you even know what is really happening? There are some persons that might even need some graphic designer, but they might not want to accurately announce that because a lot of people will be packaging themselves. They just doing it for the money. But if you drive your passion, you discover that beyond what the government has, employment opportunities or promoting businesses, your advocacies and your the civic technology, understanding how to make use of these tools, can even also inform them to create more opportunities. For example, if you ask somebody in National Assembly to come up with an idea that improves girl child education in certain local government, the first tool he goes to is that he goes online to search for what and what is there. And it is young people like you and I that put some of this content out there for people to understand. So I will just make some quick recommendations based on the research that I have reviewed, like giving you the 5 principles of civic technology that builds a nation. And the first one I will give is that build skills through the use of build your skills using very much updated tools, like using AI, using the very much updated tool that we have there. You can also, the second point I will give is that the second participation course, like try to use the most affordable tools that you have. It mustn't be you subscribing to different premium platform. And also the third one I will give is you creating safe spaces where, for example, you don't create groups that marginalize women, marginalize tribes, that marginalize religion. And also the fourth one I will give is that you should demonstrate your impact. Show that collective action really works. Fifth one is to bridge divides intentionally. So you can create posts that actually unites people across the different ethnic groups. You can make a post, you can be an Igbo person making good review on what is unique about the Yoruba group. You can make that about the Hausa people, and that will cause a high level of cooperation, understanding, and also understanding our differences for the good of our country. So, what are your roles as core members? You are already nation builders, just been enlisted as part of the NIC. You're already nation builders. You're also nation builders, and you are trusted by your host community, and you also have digitalized skills like joining on YouTube here. You have possessed the skill on how to at least navigate around digital platforms, and you are also positioned to bridge this divide. Because most times when you are posted with, most times they don't even post to you, they post to someone else. So you should ensure that you use these digital skills to actually create that. So the call to action is run workshops on fact checking in your PPA. You can teach digital safety skills in your CDS group. You can introduce civic technology platforms to your communities. You can model respectful online discourse and also connect people across different local divide. So I hope this has given you an understanding of what it is, and you should try to make sure you become actually digital literacy champions that enables you to bridge the gap that exists between different ethnic groups, different religion in Nigeria. So that is my presentation for that. We might we look forward to see how we build a great nation, and what civic technology can enable you to achieve with what you have learned here today. That is it. Done.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ola. That was really enlightening and insightful. So now we have Mr. Tayo. The floor is yours, sir.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, our moderator, Adewumi, and thank you so very much, Ola, for that insight. For that insight, really, really appreciate your insight. Um, I don't know what's happening on the YouTube. If you want to just let us know any form of feedback, what you're already learning, it would be nice, because for me this is a very, very important topic. It's something that not only this spring out of my postgraduate research work, but it became a thing of a concern because in the last 10 years at Mind the Gap, we've been actively involved with the task of empowering Nigerian youth, digital literacy, and the rest of them. And I've trained almost in excess of about 3 million. When I saw that research work, it became very troubling for me to realize that much as there is an increase in the number of people who are digital literate, that has not really sufficiently translated into the number of people who are leveraging technology platform to either participate, in civic responsibility and governance and nation building. And for me, why is that important? Is because for as many of you that are on this call today as a core member, there is one of the core mandates that you have as a core member, which is your personal CDS. Your personal CDS is one of the, avenue and channels through which you actually can participate actively, in the civic issues of our country and of your community. So I'm really, really very curious to really know how some of you, I know for you, those of you who are in the CDS, you have been actively involved, but how do you have a good understanding of what, Civic Tech really understand, just like what Ola had articulated. Civic Tech simply means using technology tools to actually drive your own participation in the development and the progress of your community. And the NYC and Service Share, arguably for me, is the most strategic platform where if you have anything of importance, if you are somebody of value, if you have something that you think you can create and it can add to your community, that Service Share presents that opportunity. What does that mean? One of the key elements I expect any core member to do is to really find your niche during your Service Share. What am I passionate about? What problem would I like to solve in this country? What area of this national life really gives me concern? I'll give my example in my own life. I served in Zamfara State, the best state to serve. I know you are going to have a problem with that. And I served at a time when I had a very strong bias about the fact that Nigerian money is in some part of Nigeria. But when I got there and I saw the suffering of the young people in that part of the world, I was personally moved to really do something about helping the young people in that community. And I started my project, which translated into what we call Mind the Gap today. So I believe personally, if I core member here, or any core member who has never really appreciated what part of a Nigerian situation they want to be a part of, Nigeria has wasted money on them. Yeah. So I think, somebody is doing a mouth like, hey, really? That's the truth. Nigeria invested how much on you on a monthly basis. For one reason, to give you an idea of what Nigeria is, and for you to also have your own part of what is called the national cake. And the national cake of Nigeria is actually articulated in the problem of Nigeria that you have chosen to identify with. So first thing I want us to take away in my short presentation is, what is that one thing which is in the problem of this country that you want to be a part of during your service year? That's one thing. Second thing is that NYSC by default, you have what is called CDS. And as a result of that, there's a time that have been allotted to you as a core member to really participated in the development of your community. That is what we call your weekly CDS. And one of the easiest way that anyone can really participate in that is through advocacy. So if you pick your phone, you have a social media account, or you have your Facebook page, or you have your WhatsApp, and you decided that, oh, this community where I am, I realize that people are not finishing school in this community, and I don't think it's right. So I really want to create content to really encourage a lot of people in this community to complete their education. Even if you can't sit down with somebody and teach them how to do it, you can just say, hey, I'm going to post something on my WhatsApp page, WhatsApp status every day. Just remind somebody who's following me that completing your education is important. By just doing that, you're already using technology to actually participate in to drive your civic responsibility. So second thing I want to say is, I want to believe from today, every one of you on this call, you're going to go back and say, what am I passionate about concerning this country? What is my civic responsibility? You can't do everything, but you need to go and choose your own and begin to use technology, to drive it. The third thing I want to say before I bring in, one of my colleagues, if she's on the call, can you just add her, is service year is going to be over very soon. What do you want it to be said that you contributed during your service year, right? And you can use your mobile phone in your hand to begin to articulate things that you want to contribute in terms of knowledge, in terms of education, in terms of advocacy, to share with people within your sphere of influence and to inspire them to do that is right. That is, Civic Tech. All right. I just want to bring in Josephine, if she's on the call, just share thoughts about 2 to 3 or 5 minutes about what she did during her service year, what she's currently doing, and some of her perspective on this conversation that we're having. If she's on the call, can you just, quickly add her? Oh, hi, Josephine.
Hi, good morning, sir.
Excellent. Good to see you.
Same here. Good morning, everyone.
We can't hear your voice, though.
Good morning.
We can't hear your voice. It's low. Just pump up the volume.
Okay.
All right. I just wanted to quickly, I just spoke about service year being an opportunity to add value to your community. Can you just share with us very briefly, what was it that you do during your service year? How is that impacting on what you currently do right now? And what are the big pictures in terms of how you want to use your own skill and talent and, to just make a difference, both in your career and your civic responsibility? Over to you.
Okay. Good morning. Is my voice loud enough now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir. It's a privilege. I'm Josephine Upeneteri. I am a development analyst and researcher, and with strong interest in economic policy, youth development, and the role of technology in advancing inclusive youth, right? So I am a recent graduate of Deal for All. I was
Well, I think Josephine is frozen. Yeah, those are part of the problem with technology. But while we're still waiting for her to jump back in, I know that during her service year, she was able to work, within the CDS to do a lot of work, around DL for All, and that is inspiring what she's doing right now and what she wants to go and do, as far as our postgraduate program and career is concerned. And the reason why I want to always like to connect, when we talk about some of all those things, look at it, yeah, it's a nice idea. People are already doing it. People are already using their involvement in the civic responsibility as a signal, to actually go into what they want to do after service year. I'm aware that, for example, when she was writing, our statement of purpose. This is something you have to write when you want to go and do masters. They will ask you, tell us why you want to do this masters. So if you can make reference to what you have done previously in terms of showcase your passion, you understand, they will almost think you are not serious. So your civic, responsibility and what you do becomes an avenue to actually know where your interest and your passion lies. While we are still waiting for her, I'll jump into the next thing I want to say. Why is how is civic responsibility and technology able to advance nation building? It's amazing to realize that what many of us call nation building in terms of, government should do this, government should do that, is really not nation building. Nation building is the aggregate of the activity of each and every body within the community, however, that is helped to galvanize through the instrumentality of governance. So nation building is really the activity of every single one of us. So if, for example, you don't have any particular thing, you are not a stakeholder, you are not building anything, you are not supporting anything. I know everybody can tell, oh, this is what government is not doing. I agree, I know that. But the America and some of all those Western nations that we all look up to, if you go back and see how they really, really build, you realize that those countries were a product of the activities and actions of very meaningful members of society. I remember there's a particular movie that I watched. It's called Men Who Built America. When I watched that documentary, it inspired me to know that I have a role to play in actually building the nation of my dream. So what am I trying to say in terms of my next point is that every single one of us, your career, your activity, your business, every single one of them has a contribution to make in building the Nigeria of our dream. And every one of us, we have to build our country within our own sphere of interest, within our own sphere and community. And once you do that, you are also contributing to nation building. How does technology and civic responsibility lead to that? Civic responsibility is the starting point of identifying the role you want to play in your community, and technology becomes the tool through which you can actually, participate even when you don't have physical presence. Now, one of the things I'm hoping we can learn during this session today is some examples of, civic technology tools that have been created to really enable and support a lot of people actually to drive, what they are doing. I have a couple of things, I was able to actually. Hello, can you hear me? Like I'm frozen, right? All right. So while I'm waiting for the camera to still come on, yes, thank you very much. So basically, Civic Tech has become a tool through which, people really interact with the state. It is not a tool by which you just go and do whatever you like. No. Right? So in the process of actually identify what you are passionate about, and you use that device in your hand called your mobile phone, you can actually start from curating content about your passion, just like what the last speaker said, not about abusing anybody, not about demanding, for what it's just contributing your own, to the ecosystem of knowledge, of experience, of what you think you needed to do. And let me tell you some of the things I found out. The reason why a lot of people find it difficult to contribute civic-wise, a lot of people don't listen to the news. I want to go to your chat room and tell me, what's your most favorite program on TV? What's the most favorite content that you consume? You will find out that majority of the young people today, they consume more of Instagram. And when you go to Instagram or TikTok or all those things, check the content you produce, you follow. It might be skits, it's not anything that can inform you enough for you to also be able to contribute, to your civic responsibility. So what am I trying to say? Number one, there are tools that you can use today to inform yourself about area of your interest. If you go to YouTube, there are plenty of content. And even on the Instagram, look for people who are sharing things that you are interested in, that you can use to contribute to the development of society, and be the one that will share, that will retweet. In fact, I want to make a challenge to every one of us in digital DL4 today. If you are currently not following the hashtag, you are not following the handle of NITSDA, who is the one that's responsible for supporting this our program, I encourage you. I encourage you to, Josephine is back. Oh, if you can have Josephine back. But before we have just bring her up, I want to insist and challenge all the presidents here. Ensure all members of your CDS in your state, they are following NITSDA handle. That's part of the civic responsibility we have as member of this CDS. Make sure everybody follow NITSDA handle and help to promote some of the activities and things that NITSDA is doing. We have Josephine back. Oh, Josephine, over to you.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. I've been following this conversation and it's super interesting. Please, I don't know if everybody can hear me, if I'm loud enough. Sorry about the network break. So one of the critical things that Dell for All afforded us during my NYSC time was the opportunity not just to learn about digital tools, but also to transfer the knowledge that we have to our immediate community. So we would then do, trainings for people, but we had to kind of like extend it to PWDs, IDPs, and the rest of them. And it was really, really impactful and life-changing. And it led me to I was so moved, and I had to put all of those experiences that we had in the book I launched just before I finished the NYSC, which was I came in with a phone and I left with impact, right? So there we kind of operationalized how we went from just training one person, from training one person to changing the lives of communities and people who are now kind of empowered with these tools. So I think the major idea about being informed with all these tools is that you don't just get to have them in your toolbox and you keep them there, but you tend to use it to change the society around you. Whatever it is that you feel, no matter how small they look or how insignificant they are, tech and these skills that we have can actually be used to engage in civil issues, from fighting for things that you believe in to empowering anybody around you. They really do help to change this thing. And I think that was one of the reasons I was moved to read on a recent work that was actually going around this whole idea. And I saw 5 things that this person said that we can actually use the civic tools and the digital tools that we have to actually do. The first was operational, from your day to today. The second was informational. The tools you have can be used to inform people about the things that are happening around you. Just like Mr. Toya was saying now, that do you read news? Are you aware of the things that are going on around you? So yeah. And the third was communicational, meaning that you can inform people. You can now move it from just informing to okay, this is what is happening. Okay, let's exchange ideas. This is what I'm using my own tools to do. This is how you're using your own tools. Let us create something in our society that can actually change lives. And that now leads to the next, which is creative. So you now come together as groups and you say, oh, let's try and solve this thing and the rest of it. And the last is safety skills. While I always advocate that everybody should be able to be online, you also have to learn how to be safe online. So it's like learning how to drive and not knowing the traffic signs, the traffic rules, and the rest of them. So all of these things is just bit by bit, but if we can bring them together, they tend to show us how to operationalize this tools that we have to engage in our society. So I'm really excited about the the conversations we're having. And I think that's one of the things that are pushing me forward to going for my master's, to doing things that I'm presently engaged with the AFCFTA, the ministries and the essays, because people see what you do. People recognize when you are trying to make change. And, however small that you think it is, if you have your digital toolkit, try as much as you can to put it into solving civic issues around you. And whether or not you are seeing or anything, it's just the satisfaction that actually comes from the fact that you were able to do something that changed lives. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Okay. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much, Josephine. I'm going to be wrapping up very shortly. I just wanted to actually throw a couple of data and statistics out there, just like what she said. One of the things you can use, Civic Tech, all this technology tool, is to drive information about things happening around you to inform people, as little as just enlightening people about what is going on. That is civic responsibility. As we speak today, for example, let me share some data with you. It'll amaze you. If you go right now and say, okay, what is the most searched topic in Nigeria today, to even know where people's head is, according to Google, that right now, as of today, March 12th, national politics and defection are the most searched topic right now that is trending on Google. All right. Then online safety and regulation, based upon what Minister Tijani said. Then climate health and warning, Lassa fever, meningitis, sport on sport, about the tigress, on economic and entrepreneurship research, about heartbeat, about how to start a business. People are actually using all those tools, to actually inform and educate themselves. So don't just use that tech tool in your hand just to do what, just to watch Instagram. It is meant for you to add your own voice. And if you don't have critical mass that you are creating online today, you are just consuming that post content, you are not adding any value. It's like you are not having gravitas. If you are not joining platforms where you can be educated and enlightened on how to participate actively in what's happening around you, then that person does not actually represent and appreciate their own significance. If you are a very significant person, you just realize that you're not just a consumer of other people's content. You are a consumer of real content. And when you consume real content, you also share. When you share real content, you are informing the people that are following you. For some of us, people that are following you on your handle, they are so deprived of information that there is no reason why they should follow you, right? But if you have informed, if you are following, for example, I say this and I'll wrap up in about 1 minute, in about 2 minutes. For example, before I follow anybody, I want to check who the person is following, right? If I know you're following smart, intelligent people, yet I can follow you because I know what I'm going to get from you will make sense. And sometimes if I don't even have what to share, whoever I'm following is sharing, what there are things that people that follow me can benefit from, I reshare. And by so doing, people have gotten scholarships, people have gotten jobs, people have gotten referrals from my own singular sharing of what somebody else shared. As little as that, please, I want to encourage. That's why I'm insisting. I want to just challenge the coordinators of the CDS. Get everybody in this CDS to follow NIDA and retweet and activate NIDA program every day. And by so doing, somebody is going to be getting opportunity about what is happening in the tech world, and you might be the avenue by which you are going to be helping somebody to have access to opportunities. All right? On this note, I just want to encourage you, because of time, there are so many more things that we're going to share with you when it comes to what you can do with tech. But these basic ones are the immediate thing, and I want to actually challenge all of you as a call to action. Thank you very much. I hope you have learned something. Thank you.
Thank you. Please let's give them a round of applause, Mr. Tayo and Josephine. We appreciate the knowledge and the perspective you've shared with us today. Guys, in 2026, digital literacy is no longer about just knowing how to use your computers, your iPads, your phone. It is an operating system. for modern nation building. It transforms a population from passive observers of government into active architects of their country's future. So now you decide if you want to be an observer or a builder. Me, I am a builder. So now we move to the question and answer section, and we'll just be taking 3 to 4 questions if time permits us. I know you guys have a lot to say and share with us. Okay. Questions, please. Let's have your questions in the chat box. Thank you, guys. I'm waiting. Yeah, keep it rolling. Mr. Ola, I hope you're still with us.
Okay, while we're waiting for the questions, anybody there? All right. While we're waiting for the questions. All right. While we're still waiting for the questions, which I believe intelligent students ask questions, we're waiting for you to just ask questions. So 2 of the things I want to, like I said earlier, I want to reiterate is if you are following the NITA handle, I want you to go on your, I wish I had done a poll. You know, if you are following the NITA handle as a member of this CDS, I want to say yes on YouTube. If you are not following, say I will start doing. So I need everybody to go on your YouTube and tell me yes, no. It's not going to be yes, no. Yes, I'm following. And if you are not following, you are going to say I will start following. But those are the things that I want us to take away as an action point out of today's session. And I'm going to be coming back to you because one of the ways you can do your civic responsibility just by sharing. Just by sharing. You see important information online, just retweet, reshare. You are already doing something, right? What do you have any questions, moderators? Right? Then apart from that, when it comes to issues of, okay, yes, okay, thank you. People are following. I can see some comment. Those who are not following, I think, okay, thank you very much for that feedback that you are following. And that's a big one. Yeah, it's great to be in this body. I enjoy the webinar. Though I have no question, I just want to reiterate that I help brand and professional leverage online tools to drive growth and sales. Excellent. That is designer craft up 66. Fantastic. Great work you are doing. I just want to encourage even you also, in addition to your business, also, you know, if you are not following NITA handle, let us follow. Let us propagate this great work that NITA is doing as far as digital literacy and digital technology is concerned. I believe you still have other things to say while we are waiting for the questions, or we're just about to wrap up in the next 7 minutes.
So we're just about to wrap up. But before that, thank you everyone for your active participation. Kindly note that the attendance link will be shared in the chat box. Please take in your attendance. I encourage everyone to fill the attendance before leaving the session today.
So any other question? If there are no questions, Maiwa, is Maiwa there? So that we can yield to him to give all the other information that might be necessary. Okay. Somebody said, thank you so much for the webinar, sir. For a couple that wants to organize a personal CDS for secondary school students on digital literacy, how can I partner with NITA and Mind the Gap? You're already a member of the CDS, so you're already in partnership. So all you just have to do is articulate what you want to do, which area of the, of the digital literacy you want to do. You might say, hey, beyond just going to train the informal sector, I want to go to a school and teach the core member this. Just articulate it in a simple concept note, share it with your schedule officer, share it with your LGI. You can also share it with your community manager in your state. When we get it, it's something, as we speak today, there is Blessing doing an amazing program, in Lagos, that's going to be running for about 3 days. She has done some training for core members already. There's another lady also in Jos Plateau that did a program. So you're already in partnership with Mind the Gap and NIDA. Just write the proposal and send it to Dr. Tambua, send it to community managers in your state, and they will get it across to Mind the Gap and to NIDA. Any way they can support you, they will support you. It's a pity we don't also have a young man called Nonso here. Nonso Miracle was also a member of this CDS in FCT, and she developed a very fantastic solution for NYC. When NIDA saw it, we were able to actually introduce him to the NYC. Today, he is leading a major project within the NYC. Everything started from seeing a problem within his community, developing a solution to it, and today he is working and in close collaboration with the NYC and Federal Ministry of Youth and other agencies. Another question, when will NIDA organize a hackathon for CDS member to submit their innovative solution? That's a good one. That's a very, very good one. We are going to, what's your name now? The AI entrepreneur. Please, we're going to take note of that. Moderators, please take note of that. Let's go and challenge NIDA and Mind the Gap to organize an hackathon. You know, one of the things we normally do at the early days of this CDS, actually, we have hackathon that we usually have an hackathon team that just look at problem in their individual communities and create solution to it. Through it, we have created solution around core shelter, which was a solution that was delivered, you know, to help core members get accommodation when they get to a new place. We have created a solution, you know, that is called food baskets, or I can't remember very well, which was an initiative for people in Benue State. You just go to your state, look at something that's very peculiar about your state, and come together and create a solution to it, you technology people. So we're going to actually communicate this to NIDA, and I believe that it's something they need. I'm very excited to really actually get started, you know, amongst whatever. So when it finally happened, you know that it is AI entrepreneur that activated it, and I know it's going to happen. So thank you very much for that question. Okay, Abdul Hamid Haruna Said is your name. It's noted. Right. So Abdul Majid, that's noted. So we're going to, as part of this report of this webinar, we're going to communicate to NIDA, and I'm very sure the Mayawa and the coordinators of the program, they'll take note of it and, you know, come up with a program on how to organize an hackathon. I think we are due for an annual hackathon in this CDS. Nice one. Nice one. So it's good to talk. He has said, I mean, that is part of, and this hackathon is going to be based upon Civic Tech. And I think that's a good way to close this session. I think we've had a fantastic time. Over to you, Adeomi.
Thank you so much, sir. We are so grateful to have you. And the session was amazing. Thank you to the moderator, Adewumi. Thank you so much for that. And all core members, like we normally do, next month we're going to be having our national CDS again, and you don't want to miss it. We want to say thank you for the information, Mr. Tayo, and we also want to send our regards to all the presidential officer, community managers. The engagement just got started. Right, the engagement just got started, and for you to know that this engagement just got started, we are going to be sending in a form for you all to send in your feedback and what you want to actually start doing from what you've learned today. What you want to start doing from what you've learned today. Like we normally do, our president, we have our national CDS meetings every Sunday. Please don't miss out. We are actually engaging ourselves again for more information when it comes to what DL for all is. We need to ensure that we send out the information. What have you learned? Post it on our social media platform and tag Mind the Gap, and we would repost. We want to need that. We want to see what you've learned from the Ijoba, the Civic Tech, the civic participation, and what your role is going to be going on from now. Thank you so much, sir. We are grateful. Thank you, everyone who has joined in the session, all the presidents, all the CDS members. We are grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. From my end, I'll pass the baton back to the moderator, and we're going to actually keep engaging on Lead the platform. If you're not following us yet, start following us, and we're going to actually keep the engagement going and rolling.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayowa. As we come to the end of today's webinar, Ijoba, I would like to sincerely appreciate Mr. Ola, Mr. Tayo, Josephine, for taking our time to share their knowledge and expertise with us today. As we continue conversations around civic tech and civic participation in the chat box and other communication channels, let's have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much, everyone. See you in the next CDS for next month. Bye.